I didn't know De'Aaron Fox was on the Knicks payroll, bruh. I didn't know he was trying to be a New York Knick. Hey, De'Aaron Fox, I hope you never have to pay for anything in New York again, gang. Appreciate you. For real, that's love. Man, the skies, if you look up at the skies, all I'm seeing is orange and blue, baby. I'm not gonna lie. I ain't been this happy in a minute. You would have thought the Thunder won the finals again, how happy I am. Man, up 3-1 on this Spurs team. Ooh wee. Ooh wee. Man, throw me something on a little grill. Game 6. Don't let them boys win game 6. Or game 5, I'm sorry. Don't let them boys win Saturday, bruh. Ooh wee. I'm gonna be cheesing. I'm gonna come. You thought I'm cheesing right now. I'm gonna come on the camera cheesing crazy. They win. But let's talk about the game. And let's talk about everything that happened. Coaching staff, De'Aaron Fox, and how the Knicks even came back. Not gonna lie though, I almost turned the game off multiple times. But it was just like every time the game got to the point where it's like, all right, I can turn it off because this game's over. If you were watching the game, if the Spurs can never put them fully away. Obviously, at half, you're down 30. You think the game's over, but in second half, Spurs were missing a lot of shots, settling, and the Knicks just kept fighting, kept clawing, teeth and clawing. Got it to 15 at the end of the third. And then in the fourth, the same thing kept happening. The Spurs just never could get out the mud. I'll talk more about the second half in a minute, but I'm so happy I finished that game because, my God, that was one of the craziest games I've ever seen, especially the ending. That was insane. Loved every second of it. Every second of it. But to start the game, going back to the first quarter, to start the game, Spurs were just hitting everything. Cat got 2 fouls. Ticky-tacky, whatever. I'm not here to do rough talk right now. Maybe at the end of the video. Cat got 2 quick fouls. And then from there, Mitch Robinson was in the game, and Spurs were just doing it. Wemby was hitting shots. Vassell hitting shots. Harper was hitting shots. Castle was hitting shots. Champagnie was hitting shots. I mean, and then it looked like the Knicks didn't want to play. They were blowing rotations, overhelping in the paint, allowing sprays to the corner, and the shooters were knocking them down. We saw the first half, by the way. The Knicks returned the ball over. Offense looked very stagnant. Nobody was really getting into anything. The Knicks weren't running in transition, weren't rebounding, were fouling a lot. They couldn't play Mitchell Robinson because they got in the bonus and they were just going to keep fouling him. So they put in like their third string center. I don't even remember who it was. And then everybody that came in for the Spurs just made shots. Carter Bryant hitting threes. He's not that good of a three-point shooter. The whole nine. It's literally a team blitz the entire first half. And if the game had continued to go that way, we wouldn't be here right now. I probably could have recorded this video halfway through the third quarter, but no, I couldn't. I just couldn't. Yeah, I think Mike Brown played like 12 guys tonight, which is very uncharacteristic for Mike Brown. And then, yeah, I mean, there's really not much to deep dive and break down during the first half analytically because the Spurs were just getting to whatever spot they wanted on the court, whether that was a short roll for Wemby or high post touch for Wemby. And then on the rolls, they would just Knicks help would just crash too hard to the paint and then allowed wide open threes. And then also Brunson was getting hunted a lot. They were matchup hunting Brunson, and Brunson was getting exposed because they had to overhelp for him, which led to the Spurs, hitting 13 threes, I think, in the first half, is an NBA record for most threes in a half. Now, we get to the second half. It's like the Spurs thought the magnet ball they had in the first half was going to carry to the second half, so they continued to shoot threes, not get paint touches. Wemby wasn't aggressive at all. I'll get more on him in a minute. Then nobody was hitting shots. Harper didn't play as much as I felt like he should have, especially how well he played tonight. And then the Knicks, everything I said bad about the Spurs in the Knicks in the first half, or everything I said that was good about the Spurs in the first half and bad about the Knicks in the first half. Just flip it all. Then the Knicks started hitting shots. OG was hitting shots in the corner. Jalen Brunson was getting isolations, getting to his matchup hunting. I think Josh Hart hit a big one. Cat hit a big three because he was able to play more in the second half because he wasn't in foul trouble. But I think, in my opinion, the sub or the adjustment that changed the game was taking out Mikal Bridges and putting in Jose Alvarado. The reason for this is, well, Alvarado is not the defender or big body that Mikal is. He is a way better playmaker. So having that extra playmaker on the court, when the Spurs double Brunson, because they started to double Brunson because he was getting hot, he was able to release to Alvarado, and Alvarado could get downhill, get a paint touch, which forces the defense to collapse and spray to OG in the corner. My glorious king, OG Anunoby. I think he had 6 threes tonight. Felt like any shot he put up was going in. And then defensively, they just started to anchor down. Didn't allow paint touches. Granted, I feel like the Spurs weren't really running offense. They were really running do that nigga offense in the second half. Just shooting threes early in the shot clock, not caring. Like, oh, we're up 30. Our feet are kicked up. But if anyone knows anything about this New York team, they don't give up. They're going to play the entire game. You can't forget this team was down 22 with 7 minutes left to the Cavs and won the game. So they play 4 quarters. Something that's a little bit of a trend with the Spurs team. They do not play 4 quarters. And then let's get to the end of the game, because I know that's what everybody's been talking about. So we get to, I guess we'll start with the Stephon Castle play out of bounds. When Stephon Castle drove baseline. I'm not sure if he actually went out of bounds, but they called that out of bounds play. And then I'm pretty sure Brunson made a bucket that after that possession. I'm not remembering it as vividly as I want to, so I apologize for that. I don't have it written down or anything. And then let's also talk about how Wemby, Mr. Best in the world, right? He's the best in the world. That's what everybody says. He's the top best player in the league. I ain't gonna lie. He don't have no clutch gene for all that monk stuff he be doing and running through temples and Shaolin monks and the whole shebang. Nigga ain't got no clutch gene. This is not the first time he's choked in the clutch. He had 2 free throws. Could have put the Spurs up. I think it was 2. I think the game was tied at the time of these free throws. He missed both. He missed both. Which, in hindsight, if he had made 1, the game would have went to overtime. But hey, that's what happens when you have no clutch gene. And then let's talk about the play. The play that you've seen all over the internet that everybody and their mother is talking about. De'Aaron Fox gets a steal. Runs down the court. One of the fastest players in the league. But he has OG Anunoby, one of the best 3-and-D defensive players in the league. Tries to beat him to the rim, lay it up. OG beats it off the glass. Literally eviscerates the shot. And then, on the other end, they call a timeout. Which I also, before I get into that play, let's talk about it. I don't know if the Spurs should have fouled there. To me, watching that live, the Knicks looked kind of discombobulated after the block, because they were running down the court. Like 2 of them were behind the play, and I don't even think they were going to run a play there. They would probably just throw something up. But then they foul, timeouts called. Jalen Brunson, first of all, I can't even believe Jalen Brunson was about to shot that. I thought he made it. I was like, wow. And OG, out of nowhere, with the tip. It was the tip of his life, which in turn reflects on Mitch Johnson. Because why did you there's two outcomes. 1, Fox doubled on his own volition, making his end of game collapse even worse than what it was. Or 2, you sent the worst double team I've ever seen. Because Fox comes out Brunson, who's in the middle of the court late, leaving OG wide open, which Brunson could have easily passed the ball to OG, who was the hottest player on the court. And then Brunson shoots, leaving OG a free lane to tip the ball in because nobody boxed him out. He tips the ball in, and then Cat deflects inbound, and the Spurs lose. Just wow. Wow, 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 wow. And that's literally all I can say is wow. But now let's start grilling niggas. This is the fun part of the video, right? That's why you click. If you did click. So let's talk about it. The Spurs were absolute ass in the second half. Nobody on the Spurs played well, besides Dylan Harper in the second half. Dylan Harper, boy, you special. But everybody else deserves strays. Wemby shot, 9 for 25 or something? Ass. Fox, we already talked about him, but cannot reiterate enough that he wasn't just bad out of side of these two plays that I just talked about at the end of the game. There's plenty of plays where he had short rolls or pops to Wemby. He's just lazy with the pass, throwing the ball away, bouncing the ball off his knee out of bounds, missing pull-up jump shots, missing getting the ball deflected into backcourt and then shooting hezzy pull threes. Like, he was really, 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 really bad tonight. Like, I just can't reiterate enough. And Miss Johnson, what do you do? Like, dead ass game. What do you do? Like, just light skin or farming. See, I would do it, but I ain't got the skin complexion. You feel me? I'm too dark. I don't be aura farming like little Mitch do. But what did you do? Like, did you not care? Like, were you not watching the game? Did you not see your team was stuck in the mud, couldn't get any offense going? You're like, yeah. Hey, y'all. Do that nigga cut. Like I said earlier, do that nigga cut at offense. You see where that got you? But man, the Knicks are 1 game away. 1 game away. I hope they close it out Saturday, but worst case, let's close it out in New York, please. Let's not go game 7. Anything can happen in the game 7. Now, do I think the Spurs lose game 5? Probably not. I feel like they throw everything out there on the court, but can you do that 3 straight times? Because I know that locker room's got to be demoralized. There's no way you can't feel it any type of way after a game like that. That's insane. Gotta be a tough pill to swallow. I don't feel sorry for them niggas, though. I'm so happy. Keep losing. That's what you get. Now everybody can see what the Spurs for who they truly are. Because everybody called the Thunder Thugs. That's what I love to see. That's why this hate watch is so, so beautiful. And I just love it here. But we're going to be back here for the next game, win, lose, or draw of it. I mean, obviously, there ain't going to be no draw, but win or lose, whoever wins or lose. Man, I can't believe this is my life, man.